Hey Internet, it's Megan. If you like what you see, please don't forget to subscribe. So today we are going to be resuming our monthly segment of From Page to Screen. And the book that I chose for January is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. The story idea was by Siobhan Dowd and the illustrations are by Jim Kay. You may be aware that this movie just barely hit the theaters, but I definitely recommend seeing it as soon as you can. A Monster Calls is the story of a young boy named Connor who is trying to come to terms with his mother's cancer treatments. One night at 12:07 p.m., he wakes up to a monster outside of his window. This monster has come to tell him 3 stories, and once he's finished, Connor has to tell him the 4th story, and it has to be the truth. When Connor wakes up the next morning, he's unsure of whether or not it's a dream, but the monster keeps showing up and tells him all these stories that help him cope with the things that are happening around him. So the novel really hit me at about 3 pages in. There was this quote, this little nugget of truth that just struck me, and I had to write it down. The line was, he didn't want to go and look, but at the same time, a part of him wants to look more than anything. And that really just speaks to human nature. I mean, it's why we slow down when there's a car accident or if someone's hurt. Everybody wants to look at it just to see. I struggle with that all the time. Do I want to look or do I not? And I really honestly think that the world needs to take a look more often. So it struck me, and I definitely will be keeping that quote in mind. So about the film and how it parallels to the book. The first thing that I wanted to bring up was the artwork. They found such a wonderful and unique way to bring the artwork from the book into the movie, and it had a huge impact on the story itself. And I definitely think that they made the right choice doing that because the visual storytelling was stunning. And I mean, I'm not just talking about the illustrations that accompanied the tales. I'm talking about the actual grittiness of life that they're showing on the screen. And it definitely brought a huge impact of realism to the story. And in the end, I ended up soaking 3 napkins in less than 5 minutes because I was blubbering. It was such a phenomenal movie. The plotline of the movie was identical except for a few little minor exceptions. They did cut a character out, but it didn't take away from the storytelling at all. Sigourney Weaver was a true gem in this movie because I was not expecting her to have an accent, and it kind of threw me for a second, but her acting totally just made me forget about that and just drew me in on an emotional level to the story that I really honestly was surprised at how deep I felt about these characters and the story that they were telling. Felicity Jones was definitely the right choice for Connor's mom in casting. She brought in this level of emotion for trying to remain positive and putting your best face forward even when you're in pain and trying to make the others around you feel better. I mean, cancer sucks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around that. But her acting really drove home the effects that it has on both the person going through it and the people around them. And the people who try to take away pain from someone else and take it all on themselves. It broke my heart to watch everything unfold. Louis McDougall, or Louis McDougall, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his name, he embodied grief and having to grow up before you're supposed to. And it was just so heartbreaking to watch him pull this off. The one standout star of this movie for me was Liam Neeson as the monster. He brought in everything that I wanted from the book to make this monster truly horrifying in such a true and personal way that I just, I was just, I don't even know how to express myself about this movie because it was so good. But it was just done in such a way that when I need a movie that I'm going to cry, I will pick this one because it made me think about life differently. And I definitely recommend it for anybody who is interested in feeling changed after watching the movie because I'm definitely changed. So I gave the book 5 out of 5 stars, and I'm going to have to say the movie deserved it as well. It was just perfect in how everything meshed together. So if you have the chance, I recommend picking up the book and going to see the movie because it's a huge exposure to grief, but it allows you to process things in your own way while you're watching it. I'm still thinking about things that have happened in my life because of this movie. It's definitely changed my life and how I see grief and sadness and pain and love. I just, I definitely recommend it, and I hope someone who watches this will pick up the book or watch the movie because it's definitely worth it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.